GTA 5 isn't only one of my favorite games ever, but is also one of the most popular video games of all time, with a long history now spanning over 11 years. And as we all get ready to head back to Vice City in 2025, I spent the last 6 months creating my own Iceberg in hopes of capturing all the best moments from the single player and online. Some topics you may have heard from the original Iceberg, other stuff I removed, but a lot has been added, so I guarantee you'll learn something new from this list. If you're new to an Iceberg chart, topics that everyone should know are at the surface level, and as you go further down, the topics become more obscure and unknown. So, without any further ado, this is the definitive GTA 5 and online Iceberg. Enjoy. Snowfall. Every year during Christmas, it snows across Los Santos for a few weeks. This has been happening since 2013, and the snow actually has some effects like making roads slippery when driving. A lot of people in my comments think that Christmas time in GTA is one of the best times to play the game and is very reminiscent for a lot of players, so I thought it fitting to be the first entry on this Iceberg. Secret vehicles. Within online and the story mode, there are a ton of rare and unique vehicles you can find, like the Slam Van, Space Stalker, Skylift, Rusty Tractor, and many others. Some of these vehicles can no longer be acquired, especially in online, and others take a ridiculous amount of time to grind in order to obtain. The iFruit app. The iFruit app was a companion app released alongside GTA 5. It had two main features, the Los Santos Customs and Chop Training. Chop Training was a fun game where you could train, feed, and play with Chop, and had 3 mini-games you could play as well, and the Los Santos Customs was exactly that. Los Santos Customs on your phone. But probably the main feature that a lot of people used this for was the license plate editor. While the app was a fun novelty, the support for the app ended in 2022, and the license plate editor was the only thing that Rockstar kept, adding it to their website instead. The Altruist Camp. The Altruists are a cult located on Mount Chiliad that blames the rest of the world for its problems. These guys are really weird. They walk around naked, they hate technology but have a website, and live closed off from the rest of the world in this small community. In the campaign, Trevor has the option to bring random people there for a reward, but nothing else is really known about them. The Mile High Club. The Mile High Club is this building in the middle of the city, and one that famously refuses to be finished. Even after 11 years and all the other changes Rockstar has made to the map, like the casino and online for example, this building has been left completely untouched since launch. There is a theory for this, however. There was a mission in the campaign where Franklin is tasked with stealing the blueprints to the building from an architect, leading many people to believe that this is why the building has never been finished. Maybe it's meant to be like that forever. The modding problem. With the success that GTA Online has garnered, it's no secret that modders have targeted that game more than others. GTA Online has had an insane cheating problem since the PC version launched in 2015, and Rockstar did almost nothing about it for 9 years. Modders found exploits to corrupt accounts, remote control your PC, and even track your IP address, which was very easy with peer-to-peer connections. However, in 2024, Rockstar finally added an anti-cheat in what is most likely a test phase for GTA 6. And while it's not perfect, it did help the modding problem quite a bit, so thank you Rockstar. North Yankton. Ludendorff, North Yankton is the snowy town where the prologue and Bury the Hatchet take place. Very little is known about this town, and especially where it's supposed to be, even though I've had my theories, and Rockstar has made this harder by patching any glitch that players could use to explore there for themselves. Yee-ass haircut. This scene early on in the campaign is probably the most iconic line in GTA 5. In fact, this scene is so iconic that Franklin and Lamar's voice actors even recreated the scene in real life. Alien weapons. Whether you love them or hate them, GTA Online has become overrun with alien and futuristic weapons. The Railgun, Widowmaker, Oppressor Mark II, DeLorean, etc. These vehicles and weapons have been a hot debate in the GTA community since they've been released, and I think it's fair to say that the majority of players, including myself, hope that these vehicles and weapons stay behind in GTA 5. UFOs. There are so many UFOs that can be found in GTA 5. one at the top of Mount Chiliad, one above the hippie camp, at the bottom of the ocean, and a bunch more. They've even started spawning in GTA Online, a part of the Halloween event since 2022. You can't actually do anything with them, but they are still one of the most iconic Easter eggs in GTA 5 and even Rockstar's history. Cayo Perico. Cayo Perico is, as of making this video, the only map expansion we've got in GTA Online and even has its own dedicated heist. The island is believed to be based on the St. Vincent and Grenadine Islands in the Caribbean, and while the island was very cool and fun to explore, Rockstar did not make it easy on us, as the island is filled with guards that will send you back to the start if you ever get caught. And as a side note, whichever dev thought the indestructible plants was a good idea needs to be fired immediately. Bigfoot. It wouldn't be a GTA 5 Iceberg if I didn't mention Bigfoot. This is by far the longest running myth in the entire GTA franchise, dating all the way back to San Andreas. But in GTA 5, the myth somewhat became a reality. In the mission Predator, you can find Bigfoot hiding in a forest. But when you finally complete the game, you finally discover that the Bigfoot that people have been searching for all these years was actually just a man in a suit. You could also become Bigfoot as well. By collecting all 27 peyote plants scattered around the map, you must wait for certain conditions to appear before you're able to find the final 7 golden peyotes. And following all of the steps for those will turn you into the real Bigfoot. This seemed like a nice way for Rockstar to finally put this long-lasting myth to rest, but something tells me we haven't seen the last of him just yet. Mount Chiliad. Mount Chiliad is both the tallest mountain in GTA 5 and is by far the biggest mystery in the entire game. At the top of the mountain, you can find a mural that, for almost 11 years, players have believed to be part of a bigger Easter egg than just the UFO you can find after you complete the game. While nothing has been found after all this time, it is most likely that this is because the rest of the Easter egg was supposed to be revealed in a single-player DLC that we never got. And this content was instead repackaged into online DLC. We technically have no way of confirming this, but it is by far the most reasonable explanation that we have. Tier 2. The Epsilon Program. The Epsilon Program is a religious cult led by Christopher Maj and has so much history in the GTA franchise that I can't even begin to summarize it all here. In GTA 5 and online, however, they pop up quite a bit, and even have a cutscene when you die for the first time in online. In single player, however, Michael can complete some tasks for them in order to become an Epsilonist and acquire some sick-looking Epsilon robes. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at. I am going to leave a video down below, however, by Fishy, who went fully in-depth into this cult and its origins, so if you want the full context, you can check that out. Laszlo Jones. Laszlo Jones has been an on-radio personality in the GTA franchise since GTA 3, but GTA 5 was the first time that we actually got to meet Laszlo in-game. Played by Jeffrey Crawford Laszlo Jones, Rockstar co-chairman of production at the time, it's very likely that this will be the only game where we get to meet him, as Laszlo left Rockstar Games in 2020 and joined Dan Houser's new company Absurd Ventures a year later. The Lost Hatch. At this spot on the map underneath the water, you can find a hatch with a glowing light that is a direct reference to the show Lost. A great show, by the way, I highly recommend. If you swim down to this hatch, you can hear someone banging on the door from inside, and if you translate this thumping into Morse code, it says, "Hey, you never called, how do you fancy going bowling?" Clever reference to Roman in GTA 4, always annoying the player about going bowling.
Nico, it's Roman, let's go bowling.
Red Dead. In Franklin's house, you can find a book on his shelf called Red Dead, written by Jay Marston. This is a nod to Red Dead Redemption's Jack Marston, who stated multiple times that he wanted to write novels when he was older.
I thought you wanted to be a writer.
Well, I could be both. A rich industrialist who writes novels about the Old West on the side.
Heart Attack. In single player, if you keep running even after your stamina has run out, you will slowly run out of health as your character holds his heart, and continuing this will cause your character to fall over. Bermuda Triangle. This obviously refers to the world border and how, after flying too far out of the map, any boat or plane you are in will just shut down or explode, stopping you from going any further. Phasing. There are hundreds, if not maybe thousands of spots in Los Santos where you can phase through the wall. Some spots allowed you to stay inside the walls for a bit, but most of them would just make you fall into the void once you get to these spots. Some people were even able to make this useful for PvP, but beyond that, it's just a cool glitch nonetheless. Frozen Alien. Within North Yankton, you can find an alien frozen in the ice underneath this bridge. This is probably one of the first major Easter eggs I remember being found when the game came out, and after all these years, we still have no idea how he got there. Whale Skeleton. At the bottom of the ocean, you can find two instances of a massive skeleton. When this was first discovered in 2014, people believed it had to be the skeleton of a giant sea monster, but it was later found out that it was nothing more than the skeleton of a long-perished whale. The Ghost of Mount Gordo. If you head to the top of Mount Gordo between the hours of 11 p.m. and midnight, the ghost of a woman will spawn that constantly stares at you wherever you go. The ghost can only be seen from a distance, and if you try to get too close, it will simply disappear. It has been confirmed, however, that this is the ghost of Jolene Crantley, Jock Crantley's wife, after Jacques pushed her off the side of Mount Gordo because she wouldn't allow Jacques to live out his dream of becoming a famous stuntman in Los Santos. Roleplay servers. GTA 5 roleplay servers have been a huge phenomenon in the Twitch space since blowing up in 2020. These servers allow you to play out a more realistic version of GTA and roleplay with other players in the game. These servers have been a huge help to keeping GTA 5 relevant in the content space, to the point where Rockstar actually acquired the team behind the biggest server, 5M, earlier last year. Judging from their success, it's almost certain that Rockstar will add these to GTA 6 as well. Refund. Since GTA 3, you have been able to do what's referred to as a prostitute refund. This is essentially requesting a woman's services, and then once it's over, you immediately end them to get your money back, a feature that is quite well known in GTA today. The Infinity Killer. Scattered around Sandy Shores are a bunch of references to someone having killed 8 people, including a newspaper clipping from 2004 that mentions a man by the name of Merle Abrahams. It details how he was being sent to jail for killing 8 men. Another message in Sandy Shores can be found that tells us that the supposed Infinity Killer will leave a clue to the body's whereabouts when he is sent to prison, and when we go and look, we can find a riddle and an image that leads us straight to where we can find 8 bodies scattered around these small islands. It's believed that the Infinity Killer has references in both RDR2 and GTA 4 as well, and despite the way I just described it, this mystery is still believed to be unsolved. Niko Bellic. Niko Bellic, the protagonist in GTA 4, doesn't make an appearance in GTA 5, but is referenced many times during the campaign.
All those Irish crazies, they mostly just disappeared. That crew from the south, they all went down. There was an Eastern European guy making moves in Liberty City, but he went quiet.
Abandoned Mineshaft. This abandoned mineshaft in Great Chaparral is a very cool but strange hidden location. After blowing the doors off, you can explore quite far inside. There is a blocked off entrance on one side, and at the very end of the tunnel, you can find the body of a man dressed like he's in the 1920s. There is more info related to this mineshaft and the body found inside later on this iceberg, so I will just leave it at that for now. Either way though, it's a very unique spot on the map. Exploding skies. Have you ever been loading into GTA 5 and you hear an explosion in the clouds? Well, it was discovered that in the single player, this sound happens when the NPC pilot of a plane despawns, causing it to crash somewhere in the distance, hence the explosion. In GTA Online, however, this sound can be attributed to any explosion being set off by random players. But because sticky bombs can be heard across the map, this is the most likely candidate. RDR2 promotional weapons. The stone hatchet and double-action revolver were added to GTA Online in 2018 as promotion for Red Dead Redemption 2. For the revolver, all you had to do was find the location after being texted an image, but the hatchet could be acquired by completing 5 bounty targets for mod. And by the way, this was way before the bottom dollar bounty DLC. After acquiring these weapons, you needed to get 25 kills with the hatchet and 50 headshots with the revolver in order to unlock them in RDR2. Green glow. Between the hours of 7 PM and 7 AM, if you were to come to this spot by the Humane Labs, you would find this very weird phenomenon of a green glow across the water. There doesn't seem to be anything in the area that could cause this reflection, and this glow only appears on the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions of the game. Because of this, it's very likely that this is just a visual bug that was fixed in later versions of the game. Unmarked grave. In Cape Catfish, you can find an unmarked grave at the top of the mountain. There have been many theories put forth about whose grave this is. Some people think it's Ursula's mother, or other people believe it's a nod to John Marston's grave in Beecher's Hope. However, nothing concrete has been found as of yet. The All-Seeing Eye. The All-Seeing Eye refers to the Illuminati, and there are a ton of references to this you can find around the map. However, the Illuminati does not play any significant role in this game. Peyote plants. Named after the peyote cactus, which is known to cause hallucinations in real life, peyote plants can be found scattered around the map and consumed to turn the player into various different animals. Which peyote plant you consume will determine which animal you become, and there are 27 different ones that you can find around the map. Solo public sessions. Before Rockstar allowed us to do business missions and invite-only sessions, players had to find their own way around this. Players had discovered that on consoles, you could test your NAT type and then back out, and everyone would be kicked from your lobby, and even better, your lobby would be completely locked. This allowed you to do cell missions without the fear of getting griefed, essentially creating a solo public session. The Vinewood Zombie. In story mode, you can find an NPC named Graham that cosplays as a zombie from the in-game film Vinewood Zombie. He can be found in the same spot on most days and just stands there waiting for people to take pictures with him. Creator. In 2014, Rockstar added a mission creator to GTA Online that allowed us to create our own races and certain jobs. If Rockstar really liked your created job, there was even a chance of having it verified by Rockstar, awarding you a special in-game t-shirt for your effort. Props to Rockstar, as this was the first time that they had attempted user-generated content that wasn't mods, and I do hope that they expand on this in GTA 6. Bike gliding. As a bit of a stuntman in GTA 5 myself, this is by far my favorite glitch that was ever found in the game. There is a very weird mechanic in GTA 5 that allows you to glide using your bike. If you jump into the air and then tilt your bike back into a certain position, you will actually start to gain height instead of lose it. This glitch has allowed players to literally fly from Mount Chiliad all the way to the airport without touching the ground on a motorcycle. And it's even been used to hit some of the most insane stunts the game has ever seen. This was obviously a mistake from Rockstar, which is why they decided to patch it in 2015, much to the dismay of most players. However, because the outrage from this patch got so bad, Rockstar mostly reverted this change, although it was still nowhere near as strong as it was back in the day. Tier 3, GTA Online almost failed. You might not believe this given how successful it's become over the years, but GTA Online almost failed. In an interview, Imran Sarwar stated, "The launch and first 8 or 9 months of the game were not very successful. We were losing players rapidly, and even worse, we ourselves were not very excited about the updates we were making. It seems that the update that saved GTA Online was the Heist update in 2015, and obviously went on to be extremely successful after that point. But it's fair to say that without it, GTA Online might have been abandoned like Red Dead Online." NPC races. This is not referring to the side missions you can do in the story mode, but rather actually racing random NPCs. If you happen to find an NPC in a sports car stopped at a red light and you start to burn out your tires, there is a chance that they will decide to start racing you. They will drive sporadic until eventually they just slow down and act like nothing happened. Amanda's fault. This is a fun theory that everyone brings up about how the entire story of GTA 5 is Amanda's fault. Hear me out on this one. If Amanda didn't sleep with the tennis coach, Michael wouldn't have pulled the house down, which means Michael would have never met Martin Madrazo and wouldn't have pulled the jewel store heist. This ultimately means that Trevor would have never known that Michael is alive. It's not something people take seriously, but it's fun to at least think about. Garage Cargo Bob. If you were an avid Vanoss gaming watcher back in the day, you will know exactly what this is. While the glitch wasn't exclusive to the Cargo Bob, it allowed you to put various vehicles that normally wouldn't be allowed in your garage into your garage. We're talking the dump truck, the Cargo Bob, jets, a tank, anything that could fit above that little blue circle. This glitch made for some hilarious moments back in 2014, but was patched for obvious reasons. The Alien War. The 2020 Alien War was one of the biggest events in GTA Online's history. People got dressed up into either green or purple alien suits and went around the city beating down the other side with melee weapons. This war lasted almost 2 months, with the trend going viral on Reddit and TikTok, and at the end a final battle was called at the airport, and even Rockstar got involved by making the game free to play during this time. Valet Replacement. The valet at the casino has been victim to more war crimes by players than any other NPC in Los Santos, so much so that Lester acknowledged it in a setup mission for the casino heist.
Oh God, there's been a horrible accident. It's the Diamond Valet, 5th one they've lost this week. Now, I don't want to prey on tragedy, but this is starting to look like a serious case of workplace negligence, and we might be able to get a security pass off him at the morgue.
And you can even find a poster advertising a fundraiser for the valet's hospital bills. Crazy drivers. The NPCs in GTA 5 seemingly want to unalive themselves on purpose. There are some absolutely outrageous instances of cars literally swerving 6 lanes of traffic to hit you or stopping in front of your car going Mach 5. Many people believe this was a stupid way for Rockstar Games to delay your progress, and while we don't know what their motive was for it, it is undoubtedly a confirmed thing that happens in the game. Invisible limbs. In GTA Online, there have been many glitches that allow you to make the limbs of your character invisible. Arms, torso, hands, ankles, etc. They can definitely look a bit weird at first, but to any PvP players who may be wondering, no, this glitch does not get rid of the hitbox. Tax evasion. Every in-game day, which by the way is 48 minutes in real life, you are charged a varying amount of money for owning all of your various properties and utilities in GTA Online. However, people found out that switching sessions will reset the timer and you won't have to pay. Grave Dog. Within the single player, you can find a dog that will head to the tombstone of its owner every day and just sits there. This is actually based on a real-life Skye Terrier named Bobby, who in 1855 guarded his owner's grave for 14 years before passing away himself, and was immortalized forever with a statue in Edinburgh, which is where Rockstar North is located. The Mechanic. When you call your personal vehicle in GTA Online today, the car simply spawns near you out of thin air. But when GTA Online first launched, the mechanic used to be an NPC that actually drove your car to you. However, this feature was removed in 2015 after many players complained about the mechanic either getting scared and driving away with your car, or just straight up hitting you with it. Peer Trap. The Peer Trap is an infamous way of getting the last laugh on people who are trying to kill you. If you are being chased by someone in a car, you drive to the pier, and just before you are about to drive off, you stop and turn on passive mode and watch the player fly off the pier right through you. This is quite literally the oldest trick in the book, but can still catch people off guard today. The Character Creator Room. When you first create your online character, you start off in this suspect interrogation room, and when you're done, you never see this room again. But a couple months after launch, players found out that by phasing through a wall by the police department, you can actually get back to this room and roam around. On the table in this room, you can even find a picture of Trevor from the prologue, leading many people to believe it was part of some bigger Easter egg, but ultimately nothing was ever found. Racist Cops. In 2015, Game Theory uploaded a video where they proposed the theory that GTA 5's cops were racist. In the Game Theory video, they do present some evidence that would support this claim, but not enough to confirm it to be true. This video caused a whole separate debate online, and it got so out of hand that Rockstar actually had to debunk this for themselves, stating this is absolutely false. The in-game police don't treat one lead character any different from the others. The calls of death. In GTA Online, you constantly get spammed with phone calls from various in-game characters. So many in fact that there have been countless times where players have either been in the middle of a shootout or parachuting and then received a phone call which most of the time will get them killed. Hence, the calls of death. Player's real voice. Our online character has no voice. This is done for obvious reasons and is referenced a bunch of times by other characters in-game and has kind of become a running joke by the various in-game characters.
I'm sort of like one of those things that is good at lots of things. Why isn't this person talking?
Just, don't worry about it.
Ghost Dog. When Franklin meets adrenaline junkie Dom Beasley, a strange dog spawns that, for some unknown reason, can communicate with Franklin and guides him to where Dom is stuck in a tree. Despite some compelling theories, there are so many unanswered questions about this dog. Why can it talk to Franklin? Why is Franklin so chill about talking to a dog? And why does this dog seem to help Dom? There are many theories pertaining to this strange golden retriever, but it is believed that this dog is Dom's guardian angel, as once Dom falls to his death, we never see this strange dog again. One spin a month. Every day, you can spin the wheel at the casino for a prize. But because of how the in-game time for GTA 5 works, it is actually a month of in-game time before you can spin the wheel again. As a little bit of a side note, by using this metric, if you were to calculate how long our online players have spent in Los Santos, going from the launch to the day I uploaded this video in December of 2024, we have been roaming the streets of Los Santos for over 335 years and counting. North. In every single GTA game, not just GTA 5, there has been a symbol on the map with the letter N to indicate north. However, some people thought that there could be more to it, and using mods, people were able to make it to the N logo on the map, but unfortunately there isn't anything special hiding there. The Mount Chiliad face. In the original release of GTA 5, players were able to find a random face plastered on the side of Mount Chiliad. To this day, we don't know exactly who this is, but it is widely believed to be either a developer who wanted to put his face in the game, or Jesse Pinkman due to how many Breaking Bad references there are in GTA 5. However, it seems that whoever put this in the game eventually got found, as when the next-gen consoles came out, it was found by Rockstar and changed to, well, this. LJT is Lester. This is a theory I only ever found out about from the original Iceberg list by In Control again, and it's that LJT is secretly Lester with a voice changer, and it's made pretty clear when he says this.
Hey, it's JT. We got trouble at work. Get over there or you'll lose product.
1807. When heading into the Vinewood Hills, you can find a number imprinted on the wall, 1807. If you follow the arrow up to the next house at night, you can find some partygoers that all have a very strange property. If you quite literally run into these NPCs, all of them will die with just a single touch, and a lot of people were confused by this, thinking it was a part of some Easter egg. However, it was later discovered that this is not a property only found with these NPCs, and there are a bunch of NPCs around the map that all share the same property. Bleeding windows. In the single player, for some reason there are a few houses with windows that bleed. If you come to the back of this house and shoot the windows, they have blood that comes out instead of glass shards. Why this happens, we have no idea, and it's even weirder because the same does not happen in online, meaning it's most likely just a bug. Single player DLC. On September 18th, 2022, the GTA 5 source code was leaked online. After people finally got their hands on the file, they found that there were 8 single-player DLCs planned but were ultimately never released. Some of these DLCs included an Agent Trevor DLC, a Liberty City expansion, a North Yankton expansion, and many more. Unfortunately, it was confirmed in the summer of 2024 that these DLCs were repackaged into online DLCs instead, and others were just never brought because of how popular online was. Although I think we all knew in our hearts that this was the case anyway. Tier 4. Vehicle Duplication. Vehicle duplication glitches have been a staple money glitch since literally the first month of GTA Online's release. There have been so many different methods for this glitch, and back in the day you could even use it to give your vehicle to one of your friends. For how long different methods of this glitch have been around, it is by far the longest lasting money glitch in the game's history. Thelma and Louise. This is a famous movie from 1991, which follows 2 girls, Thelma and Louise, as they are on the run after shooting a man and a police officer. At the end of the movie, they get cornered at the Grand Canyon by police, and instead of giving up, they drive off the cliff in dramatic fashion. Rockstar actually recreated this scene in GTA 5. By coming to Mount Chiliad at 7 p.m., you can see a mariachi car surrounded by cops on the edge of this cliff. And after a little while, just like the movie, the car will drive off the cliff and plummet to the ground. Witness protection. When Trevor discovers that Michael is still alive in Friends Reunited, he explains to Trevor that
it was a long time ago, man. I've been in witness protection, I still am.
However, a YouTuber you've probably heard of before named Dark Viper AU has spent a lot of time explaining to people that Michael was in fact never in witness protection.
I checked out the WPP thing. Doesn't look like any WITSEC program I'm aware of. Well, for starters, they don't put witnesses up in multi-million-dollar mansions in Rockford Hills.
Well, maybe they thought this would be the best cover.
And most witnesses don't transfer 5-figure sums into a particular FIB agent's bank account every month. Of course, the money gets moved around and washed through a number of fronts, but the trail is there. Deposits and withdrawals, the same sum every month. Agent Dave Norton, white middle-aged divorcee, unremarkable career, except for one incident, the shooting of a notorious stick-up man, Michael Townley.
Yeah, all right. Lester, I'm very impressed.
While his evidence is sound and makes sense, this has basically become a meme in the community at this point, and to this day, one of his most popular videos on his channel is this video, Red Arrows. In certain areas of Sandy Shores, players notice that there are a few strange red arrows that all seemingly lead to nowhere. People have tried to tie this in as a potential clue for a bunch of unsolved mysteries, but nothing has been found for what or where they may lead. Vault Multitasker. This refers to a glitch that allows you to both cut out paintings and collect money from safety deposit boxes at the same time. The Capture License Plate. With the launch of the Capture update, Rockstar held the hashtag Capture Weekend contest, where players were able to send Rockstar their created capture jobs for the chance of becoming the first official Rockstar verified capture jobs. Rockstar even released a 23-page PDF on how to make the perfect capture job. If you happen to be one of these lucky winners, you would be given $1 million in GTA Online and the exclusive Capture License Plate. Only 4 people in the world have this item, and one of those players was banned, meaning that only 3 are left, easily making this the rarest item in GTA Online. Loading times fixed. GTA 5 had some of the slowest loading times of any game I had ever played before, especially on the old-gen consoles. But in 2020, one player who goes by Tossed made a fix that Rockstar could never find. This is simplified for sure, but basically by him changing 4 lines of code, he was able to fix loading times by nearly 70%. For his great find, Rockstar awarded Toss $10,000 and made the change to the game shortly after. Alien Egg. There's a very strange mission in GTA Online where after you complete 600 bunker missions, there's a small chance that you will get a secret resupply mission that tasks you with acquiring an alien egg. When you load into the mission, the egg will be found by a crashed UFO by Fort Zancudo with a bunch of aliens coming after you. After this mission is finished, you can do one final step of passing out at a bar while it's thundering or snowing in order to obtain a UFO tattoo. And because of the convoluted steps to obtain it, this makes this tattoo one of the rarest items in the game. This does not exist. Hidden in inaccessible locations like under the map, for example, players have found random boxes that have the phrase "this does not exist" on them. Players have speculated for a while what these are used for, but so far it is only speculation. Real-life Banshee. With the release of GTA 5, Rockstar commissioned West Coast Customs to create a real-life Bravado Banshee for a giveaway. The car is a 2006 Dodge Viper SRT-10 with a body kit to match the in-game Banshee. It's currently owned by a vehicle collector, and the car made a brief appearance in Season 5, Episode 8 of Better Call Saul. The Sharmuta Heist. The Sharmuta Heist, as it was nicknamed, was a cut heist from the single player that would have had you rob Martin Madrazo's mansion, stealing a safe, his prize horse, and even his wife. There are some details still present in the game that somewhat reference this heist, like when the Chinese gang called Trevor and Michael his boyfriend,
you got nowhere to go, boyfriend.
Because during the heist they were supposed to cover as a gay couple.
Albert does most of his entertaining in the bedroom. The rogue.
Okay, cannot wait to see it.
Also, the iconic scene of Trevor kidnapping Madrazo's wife was originally supposed to be a part of this heist. Once again, Dark Viper has done a great video covering all of the details if you'd like to check it out. The Retcons Timeline. The timeline between GTA 5 and GTA Online makes literally no sense. When GTA Online first released, it was confirmed that the events of Online take place a few months before the story mode, as Lester seemingly mentions working with our online character.
Well, we're gonna need a crew. You got any contacts in LS or not?
I've been working with someone, but they're too unpredictable.
However, as the scope of the updates kept getting bigger and bigger, and the game kept running longer and longer, Rockstar realized that the timeline doesn't really make any sense anymore, and so they changed it to take place after with some subtle references to the story mode. When the switch was fully implemented isn't exactly known, but the best theory suggests that it was around the gun running update. Karen Snipe. The Karen Snipe is literally the best vehicle in all of GTA 5, or at least that is what some trolls will make you believe. If you have been around long enough, you may have seen this vehicle mentioned in forums or even my comments. In reality, this vehicle doesn't exist and is just a running joke in the community to fool players who have no idea what it is. Checkerboard. There was a glitch in GTA Online a while back that allowed you to replace your clothing's texture with a checkerboard. This glitch worked for every piece of clothing but was eventually patched in 2022, but new methods are found from time to time. Trevor's mother. When you finish the main storyline of the campaign, Trevor will get a mission where his mother seemingly returns from prison and gives Trevor the task of getting her more to loot 'em all. When he returns, however, he finds that his mom has left him once again, never to be seen again. It isn't entirely known if Trevor seeing his mom was just an illusion or if his mom really left while he was gone. Once again, there are many theories, but like most things on this list, we just don't know for sure. As an unrelated cool fact, however, Trevor's mom is actually voiced by Dan and Sam Houser's mother, the co-founders of Rockstar Games. Open cargo planes. A lot of newer players may not be aware of this, but the hatch at the back of the cargo plane used to open without it being your personal vehicle. In 2013, if you hit the back of the door with a melee weapon, you used to be able to open up the back and go inside, and the same worked for the cargo bob as well. It made for some hilarious moments when you would just drive a few cars in the back and they'd all glitch out, but Rockstar decided to patch this relatively harmless glitch sometime in 2015. Scooter Brothers. Scooter Brothers is a very popular video posted by Adam the Cuzzy in 2008.
Driving them largely. We are Scooter Brothers. Scooter Brothers. We are brothers on scooters.
Rockstar paid homage to this video by adding a small chance that whenever you switch to Trevor, you will spawn riding a Faggio alongside a fellow NPC, and Trevor will say,
We are Scooter Brothers! Scooter Brother! Come on, Scooter Brother! Let's go, Scooter Brother! Where are we going today, Scooter Brother?
Phantom files. Phantom files refers to the fact that there are some files in GTA 5's code that are seemingly titled incorrectly to throw off or mess with data miners and Easter egg hunters. Nothing here. On the old gen version of GTA 5, people found this graffiti in an alleyway by Simeon's that reads, "Nothing here." In typical GTA fashion, players thought there had to be something more to this spot, but never found anything. However, a year later, when the Xbox One and PS4 released, the Monkey Mosaics collectibles were added to the game. One of them was placed by this graffiti, leading the developer who originally placed it to correct himself by stating, "Sorry, I lied." Tier 5. The Highway Codes. The Highway Codes is a mystery in GTA 5 that has been half solved for over 7 years. If you come to this section of the highway, you can find 2 codes etched on the wall. One of these codes reads 125-820-423-620-420-310. After a number of years, this code was solved using an A1Z26 cipher by a YouTuber named Dibs Gaming, which translates to AYHTDWFTDTCJ. In case you're having trouble figuring out what this means, it is an acronym for the popular quote from GTA San Andreas,
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ!
with the quote changed in GTA 5 to all you, most likely because of Trevor's mission derailed. And while that half of the highway codes has been solved for a while now, no one has been able to decipher the second code. Fort Zancudo. Fort Zancudo, better known as the military base, has been a topic to a lot of mystery since the game came out. People have found weird black boxes under the map, a weird Group 6 logo that people thought was a GTA 6 teaser, and an elevator that for a long time people believed would take you down to a secret base. Unfortunately, with all the mystery surrounding this area, it has simply stayed as just an ordinary military base after all this time. NOS vehicles. In 2014, there was an exploit or glitch that allowed you to put NOS on any car in the game. This exploit went relatively unnoticed in the grand scheme of glitches in online, but undoubtedly it was super strong, as it could make any vehicle in the game faster than any maxed out supercar. It worked the same way as using boost in a GTA race, but was able to be used on any car and even while in free mode. DNS codes. DNS codes was an exploit found in December of 2013 by ECB2 that allowed players to make billions of dollars and gain thousands of levels almost instantly. This is a topic I have covered many times on this channel already, so I'll keep this brief. There was one file responsible for the money and RP values in GTA Online, and ECB2 had figured out a way to modify this file and change the values to whatever he wanted. This made it so you could rob a convenience store and get $1 billion, or play a race and get to level 1000, or even set a bounty on someone for $200 million. To this day, this is by far the most game-breaking exploit that GTA Online has ever faced, but Rockstar had mostly patched the exploit just a month later in January of 2014. Gender change. While it was never an official feature, there used to be a glitch that allowed you to change the gender of your online character. This was mainly used to get male and female clothing on the same character, but some items would be lost in the process. As far as we know though, this glitch was patched during the casino update, and no new methods have been found since. Stephen Ogg, not Trevor. For the longest time, Stephen Ogg has famously hated being known as Trevor.
You wanted me to give you this message from Trevor, which, of course, I'm not Trevor. My name is Stephen. As actors, you portray different characters. And it would be literally impossible for me to be a cartoon. I mean, literally impossible for me to be a cartoon. Like, I can't be. And even other characters, right? That's an actor's job. So, need to get that off my chest. I just sometimes don't fucking understand.
He despised being called a voice actor or being known as a cartoon character, and would much rather be known for his live-action roles instead. It has seemed over recent years, however, that he has embraced the role a bit more, and whether he hates it or not, it doesn't change the fact that he's still one of my favorite characters in the game. Vanoss crew painting. The Vanoss crew were some of the funniest and most influential YouTubers in the GTA space when the game launched in 2013. While it isn't entirely confirmed to be them, it does seem like Rockstar added a nod to their legacy by adding a painting of them to some apartments, a part of the contract DLC for GTA Online. Impossible interiors. Some of the properties that we can buy in GTA Online make literally no sense. By walking around, you can see that the inside of this building makes no sense compared to when you see the outside of the building, and shouldn't be possible within that building. Electric spiderwebs. For 1 hour between 1 AM and 2 AM, you can find 2 strange looking spiderwebs at these locations. The reason these are called electric spiderwebs is because that is what the textures are named in GTA 5's files for some reason. These spiderwebs are very strange, and given the fact that one of these webs spawns underneath the Mount Chiliad mural, has led a lot of people to believe that these webs had something to do with the Chiliad mystery. Why do these webs look so different? Why do they spawn at 1 AM? And what are they here for is something that's still unknown. And given the Chiliad mystery was likely turned into online DLC, we likely will never know what's truly going on with them. The Loch Ness Monster. When completing the finale for the Cayo Perico heist, you can actually find the Loch Ness Monster. It only appears very briefly before diving back under the sea level, but if you manage to spot it, Pavel will make a comment about there being something in the water.
Capitan, I do not want to worry, but there is something out there. Long-range scanners are picking up something big. On the surface, from movement patterns, I would say it is... Never mind. It is an old friend of mine.
Murder Mystery. Exclusive to the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game, this side mission is a continuation of the abandoned mineshaft from earlier. This mission, which was exclusive to Michael, was quite unique because there was no indication of the mission being started at all. You just had to find it. Michael is tasked with figuring out a murder connected to the film industry. Around Los Santos are 4 hidden encryptic messages that detail a murder. Once that's been completed, you must then find 2 clues: sunken body of the West Coast and a damning letter on the desk of a friend. Now that you have those clues, you need to find a dead body hidden somewhere in Los Santos, and as you can probably guess, that body is the one found within the mineshaft. Once located, you will unlock a cool filter for your Snapmatic that gives your world a cool 1920s-esque feel. And with that, the murder mystery has been solved. Balls Torture. In February of 2022, GTA Online players started getting spammed game invites from a dude simply known as Balls Torture. This was the work of a hacker who was using a vulnerability in Rockstar's social club to send 100,000 random invites to players all at once under a spoofed name. And yes, that was the name he decided to choose. After eventually being patched, a year later he came back with a new ability this time, being able to spam people with bounty messages of negative $99 million. This just goes to show that Rockstar has never had very good security on their game or even their websites. Lamar playable character. In an AMA on Reddit in 2014, Slink Johnson, the actor for Lamar, hinted that Lamar was originally supposed to be a playable character in GTA 5. By taking a look at the leftover code in the game files, it's believed that Option C was going to have Franklin killed off, and after his death, you would be able to play as Lamar instead. This was ultimately scrapped, however, due to Slink Johnson catching a case and spending some time in jail, forcing Rockstar to have to move on from these plans. Frank Mathers. Frank Mathers is a character in-game that we never meet that died during a submarine expedition. While playing as Michael, Abigail Mathers, Frank's wife, will task you with finding all of the parts of his submarine so that she can prove he's dead and collect his life insurance. When you finish the task, she notices something that indicates she knows how he died, and says the police are involved. She then rewards you with a tiny bit of money and says she's taking the part to the FIB. However, if you follow her back to the city, you can find that she isn't going to the FIB, but rather she's headed straight to the airport. And when she gets there, she then alerts the cops that you are following her, and it triggers an automatic wanted level. Many players believe that the evidence she found instead would prove that Abigail had actually gotten her husband killed, and when the evidence was found, she headed to the airport in order to skip town. The Quantum Man. The Quantum Man is a GTA 5 myth that surfaced on the Rockstar Social Club when a user posted this image. It features the GTA 5 map with Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man laid over top. People were even able to figure out the exact location where this picture was taken, and after a few people looked into this mystery, it was proven to be nothing but a myth, and no such Quantum Man exists. Panic in the Woods. Around midnight, if you were to walk in the forest just west of the abandoned mineshaft, players have detailed how they suddenly hear a loud ringing sound due to how eerily quiet the game becomes. At first, you hear nothing, but the longer you wait, the more intense this sound becomes. People have posted videos of this phenomenon happening to them, but we can't decipher whether or not there's an audio track laid over the video. Leaving this mystery still unsolved. The Tongva Triangle. The Tongva Triangle refers to an area on the map that seems to have more paranormal activities found than anywhere else on the map. In this relatively tiny section, you can find UFOs, abandoned mine shafts, reports of strange cryptids, and even the already mentioned Panic in the Woods. Why there are so many weird phenomena in this area is never explained, and probably never will, but this area leads into the next topic on this list. The Tongva Hills Creature. This strange cryptid is believed to roam the Tongva Hills and the Tongva Valley region at midnight. Players have reported hearing strange buzzing noises and finding workers near the vineyard either dead or stuck halfway in the ground. Many people have roamed these areas at midnight trying to catch a glimpse of this cryptid, and some even claim to have video footage of it. But without any real proof, they have always come up short. So whether or not it's truly out there or not, you may have to go and check for yourselves. Tier 6. Unfound Easter Eggs. A day before the game officially released, Aaron Garbett, the head of development at Rockstar, was interviewed by Tech Radar and stated that he was confident in the fact that players would never be able to find every Easter egg in GTA 5. He did admit that every reference and Easter egg was found in GTA 4, but he believed that there were so many obscure Easter eggs placed in GTA 5 that finding all of them would be impossible. Now I need to clarify that this was stated long before he probably knew how long GTA 5 would last, but it could be very well true that there are some Easter eggs out there that we have yet to find. Audio files leaked. On August 23, 2013, just a few weeks before the game was released, Rockstar had messed up by adding every audio file in the game as part of the pre-download for GTA 5, and players in European countries were able to download these files and put them online. This effectively meant that the entire story for GTA 5 was leaked early, as every bit of dialogue was included in this leak. Rockstar and Sony had to apologize for this, and it is most likely that they will not make the same mistake for GTA 6. Los Santos hit with tsunami. There was a popular theory which stated that sometime before 2013, Los Santos had actually been hit with a tsunami, and there is actually more evidence to this than you might think. If you walk into any barbershop, you can find a picture that looks as though a massive wave is heading towards Los Santos. Many players were able to locate where this picture was taken from and found that in this area there is a ton of garbage and newspapers scattered around this hill. One of the newspapers read, "Coastline under threat." But one of the most intriguing pieces of evidence for this mystery is that on this same hill with all the scattered garbage, you can find a piece of coral with a starfish just chilling there. with no explanation of why or how it got there. Japan's casino. In certain countries where gambling is banned, the new GTA Online Diamond Casino and Resort can be accessed, but no gambling is actually allowed inside. No slot machines, no blackjack, poker, and I'm pretty sure they can't even spin the wheel. Charles Proxy. Charles Proxy is a computer program that allows you to intercept Los Santos Customs orders from your iFruit app and edit them before sending them to the Rockstar servers. This program was one of the few ways that people were able to make modded vehicles, like adding F1 wheels to any car and getting the North Yankton license plate. Unfortunately, however, this exploit was patched when Rockstar shut down the iFruit app in 2022. Kids content. With the rise of games like Fortnite, for example, kids content based around gaming became insanely popular. This caused an entire wave of YouTubers to start using GTA 5 and its accessibility to mods to start making kids content around the game. Now, the content itself isn't entirely harmful to kids or anything, but there is something that doesn't sit right about making kids content from a game that is rated M for mature. In fact, when even asking my cousin about it, I asked him if he knew what GTA 5 was, and he said the game was Spider-Man. Black cell phones. In the single player, if you go to your phone and dial 1999 EMP drop, an explosion will appear overhead, as well as it turns your phone background completely black. This feature was confirmed to be tied to a mission in the files called Ode to Sound. I don't know if I pronounced that correct, I'll put the text on screen. For some reason, they decided to scrap this mission, but left this Easter egg in the final version of the game. Clifford is alive. After completing the Doomsday heist and annihilating Avon Hertz, Lester will call you and say this. Whether Clifford is still out there or not, we may never know, but there have been Clifford symbols seen in Arena Wars, as well as Clifford mercenaries in later missions. Griefer bias. Rockstar has given griefers a lot of tools to cause havoc over the years: military planes, rocket bikes, tanks, and armored vehicles. While grinders, on the other hand, usually are now given slow-moving and easy-to-take-out vehicles in order to complete cell missions. This has made many people believe that Rockstar does this intentionally to promote griefing to other players. And that officially concludes the GTA 5 and online Iceberg. I hope you all enjoyed this video. It took me so long to get it done, so if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!